Good job.
And I hit record. Because why not? That's the thing I do these days.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let me know when you see it pop up.
I see it.
Is it moving?
It's moving.
Okay. So this is Return of the Incredible Machine Contraptions. It is old. It's not the oldest. I could be playing the oldest because I think I got them all in the pack that I bought. I don't remember, but it is very old. It is.
You're saying it's old as balls.
Yeah.
Like,
It's from-
there are people learning to drive who are younger than this game.
Yep. It is from 2000.
Cast your mind back.
Glorious 800 by 600 resolution. That was a selling point back in the day.
It sure was.
Well, Belaphon, how old are you? That would depend. Never mind. Okay. Anyway, this is, if you've never heard of The Incredible Machine, it is a game about solving Rube Goldberg contraptions, basically. Firebrand knows exactly what's going on. Is the audio balance okay?
Yep, it's fine.
Great, because
you
I had to
might be
turn
a
it down.
little-
Me quiet?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Music might be a little quiet. Well, the game is actually really loud. I've noticed. This is, I think, one of the loudest tracks in the game, so maybe I will turn it up a little bit. But I was fighting with it earlier. Anyway, let's play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is where I say I've actually never played this game.
Well, you've never played any video games, but I also haven't played this one.
I've never played a video game, it's true. They even have a podcast about that.
So, there is a slight plot. The game is way quiet. Alright, let me turn it up. I have to do this in the mixer. Alright, hopefully that'll help. So, basically, this game has a absolute load of things, and so the first bunch of them are just going to teach us all the various parts and interactions and basic stuff. So,
Yeah, we're learning about ball play.
Yeah,
Joey.
thank you. But so by hitting start, we go ahead and you can see how they all interact. And there are a bunch of hints.
Physics?
Oh yeah.
That's quite impressive
So
for
these
a
hints-
17-year-old game.
They're all voiced.
It seems to have an endless supply of energy.
And it's basically going to give us hints about how these balls work.
Okay.
Note how this 8-ball rolls around as if you're looking down on it, whereas the
So-
rest of the balls act as if you're looking at them from the side.
So the 8-ball here, our goal is to knock the 8-ball off the screen. So just getting it outside the boundaries of the window.
Okay.
Click once on the super ball.
So all we have of parts that we can use is down here in this gray box. We have one ball here. And we can place it anywhere we want, as long as there's a faint green outline. We can put it
Okay.
down, we can examine it, we can learn what it does. And when you push start, it gets added to the whole thing as well. So the 8-ball doesn't move because it acts like it's on a pool table. You're just looking straight at it, basically. So something has to bump it in order to move. So, if we place
Oh,
this...
you put a bouncy ball underneath it to knock it out of place.
Exactly. And that does it. We've solved it.
We did it.
And the nice thing is, when you do that, you can either play it again, try to do it in a different way. You can just replay whatever you did if you did something cool. You can see how they did it, and then just keep going.
Nice.
We'll put both bowling balls
May,
into the
this is
large
hella your
bowling box
shit.
in the center. Be sure and read all of the hints. Then
The
complete
other
the
nice
red
thing
brick
about
ramp
this
going
game,
into the box.
is that it has a puzzle builder.
Oh, so you can make your own?
Yeah, and you could share with people back in the day. I think you still can if the systems end up working, basically. But yeah, our goal is to put both bowling balls in. So one of them is already done. This is just to teach us walls and inclines and things like that.
Okay.
So a lot of these tutorials have basically an example, and then you're supposed to mirror it. You can, like with this wall, you can stretch it up and down, left and right, as needed. You don't need more pieces to do that. And with inclines, you can change their grade and their direction of rotation.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And so there we go, we did it.
We did it.
We'll get
So proud of
bowling
us.
basketballs
As a
into the
team,
piped area by
we have done
building
it.
an apparatus like the one you see to the
So the other thing that's in here is there's both electricity and motorized power.
Oh god.
In this case, what you'll see happens here is an instance of funny items, basically. There is a mouse cage here. When the mouse cage is disturbed by anything touching it, the mouse runs, which turns the mechanical motor in the thing, which turns some gears and activates this conveyor belt. So
Okay.
it's a silly game, too. Point is, we have to get the other basketball in there, so we can look at the example on the left to basically figure it out. So we have a conveyor belt, and we'll want to make it a decent size so that it'll go in. And then we have some gears.
I like that you can just change the size of things at will.
Yeah.
To a certain extent with everything, but yeah. And if you have more than one item in your bar, you can just right-click it. Like I have 2 gears, I can put one down and immediately right-click to copy it out. Gears are tough to work with sometimes because you actually have to... Their rotation does matter. Because if you put it in the wrong rotation, like let me change around the band here, the way the gears are rotated, it sent the basketball off the wrong side. So you have to pay attention. I'm gonna hide the hints, I don't really need them.
Man, you need this game.
It seems like an edutainment type game, almost.
To an extent, but the later puzzles really do get quite challenging.
We've solved the
Put 2 bowling
contraption.
balls into the wicker
Do-do-do.
baskets by building an apparatus.
So, once again, we need to get the bowling balls in the baskets.
I see Peloton came up with the same thing.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I would definitely call it an edutainment game. But it's at least one of those ones that, like, makes you...
Is actually entertaining.
It's entertaining and, you know, you feel pretty smart doing it. So here we're learning about ropes and teeter-totters. Rope, like, makes... You have to worry about, like, the way that a rope gets pulled. So here, this
Yeah.
ball will fall, pull the rope, which will pull the other teeter-totter, basically. Rope slack actually matters as well. Like, there are ways to make the rope go slack and not actually, like, pull things properly.
I'm gonna ask about that. So it's not like a rod; it's literally like a string.
Mm-hmm.
Make the balls go into the boxes by using a pulley.
You did it.
Yeah, like here, rope. We need to basically cause this thing to bounce in a certain way. So this soccer ball falls down and pops this up. Well, we need to connect it to this other teeter-totter, but it doesn't really... Oh, it did. Well, it's not supposed to. The point is, I have a pulley, and using the pulley, you're supposed to be able to change the change the direction that the rope activates.
Mm-hmm.
We call them seesaws as well, but this game refers to them as teeter-totters.
I wonder
I
why.
wonder if that's like a brand name or something.
Yeah, like hacky
It might
sack or
be.
frisbee.
So here's electricity. The important parts about this There are plugs with switches that you have to activate to turn them on, and then there are some that just work always.
Speaking of electricity, did May ever tell you the story of how she got banned from her university supply locker?
How about don't worry about it?
So this one's pretty simple. There's just the different appliances all do different things. So we'll go into more.
That one appears to vibrate.
Yep.
Burn toast, open a can, start the fan and the blender. Don't forget the hints.
Our goal is to burn the toast, open a can, start a fan, and a blender.
My doctor is Dutch.
Sure, that's
a yeah.
No, chat is talking about things in Dutch.
Okay, you get away with this one then.
So what happens here?
I've had a hard day.
To get the toaster to work, you have to first hit the you have to push the toast down. So something has to hit the little lever on the toaster. And then the power goes on and it'll work. I'm not sure what this piece of brick was used for.
Bouncing.
It was used underneath the... okay. Under the fan. The fan does not fall. It's not affected by gravity. So, sure game.
Put both
Okay,
bowling
sure.
balls between the logs by assembling a similar set of parts as is on the left.
So, electric motors do basically the same thing that the mechanical mouse thing did.
But without a mouse.
Yeah. They just run on power. So, all we have to do is just put the motor next to a power source and it'll run. Obviously, and the way that it is rotated affects the direction of the conveyor belt. And that's pretty simple.
Start the blender and the can opener by using generators.
So generators are interesting in that they only provide electrical power if they've been given mechanical power. So, on the side here, there's a mouse providing the electrical power to the generator. Or no, it's providing the mechanical power the generator needs to power the mixer. So, we just need to copy that, basically. That's pretty easy.
I want you to turn on the lava lamp, the flashlight, and in the process, activate the solar panel. Note the order of the hints.
So, I forget what the difference is between steel cable and rope. I think it's that steel cable can't really be cut. Oh, it can only be cut with special scissors, tin snips.
Okay.
But otherwise it's basically just a different type of rope. But the point is, the lava lamp here can only be activated by tying a rope to its handle and pulling. Here we have a flashlight and a solar panel. The flashlight turns the solar panel on, provides power
Sure.
to the generator, which turns the mechanical conveyor belt, which moves the basketball. Yep.
What a weird game.
It's a good one, though. I had many, many hours of fun with this thing when I was younger.
I can
can
imagine.
see why.
I can see it be very, very easy to get lost in this game.
Yeah. So now we're learning about fire.
It's like we never left the Sim stream.
So flashlight plus magnifying glass will light things on fire.
As we know.
So you see, it slowly lit the lamp as it fell down, the lamp lights the candle, and then the candle lit the other thing. So the fire can translate from one place to another, as long as the piece that's on fire is moving.
Okay.
Light the match and make fire with the flint rocks.
There are flint rocks, and this is a spring-loaded match up here. So what happens is it only activates if you pull it, because then the match will rub against the matchstick surface and then light.
Sure.
So again, using a pulley, basically, and a bowling ball. And then down here, this is a flint rock. So if you strike the flint rocks from the sides, they will ignite a fire there.
Okay.
It makes sense, sort of.
I mean, I can understand like how you would.
All of the dynamite and all the vials of nitroglycerin.
How about explosives?
Who doesn't like explosions?
So, dynamite. This is also to teach you how different types of building walls, how resilient they are.
Okay.
The idea is you're supposed to blow up all these nitroglycerin vials that you have in your inventory. And the idea is to test it here. I'm going to turn the volume down a tiny bit, because this is a loud track.
That's an intense track for a puzzle game about lighting things on fire.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. The other thing is, nitroglycerin vials only break if they drop from a high enough height. So you can actually just drop them slightly, and they'll activate whatever they'll hit things with weight.
Okay.
Actually, I think I've got these in the wrong place. This one should be over here.
As May furiously buys this game in the background.
No, no.
Oh no, it doesn't go there.
Not this time.
Yeah, FP already made you buy Hearts of Iron.
Which I really enjoyed, to be fair.
But yeah, so it really blows up these concrete bits. It blows up the wood pretty well as the grass. I think it might still be on sale on GOG. I picked it up in its GOG sale. It was like $3
Yeah.
for this and all of the other games in the series.
Give me a second and I will link that in chat for you, friend. Speaking of games, I want to squish the goopy boot.
And which is stronger, red or
He's talking about Metroid.
Yep. So these are remote bombs. They can activate in a couple of ways. You can either drop something on the plunger, or you can use rope to pull the plunger down.
Okay.
And then they go off. It's also to ostensibly teach you how powerful or how resistant red and yellow brick are, but they're almost functionally identical.
Try to get your rocket into space before the other two rockets can stop it.
We also have rockets. So to light a rocket, you need a magnifying glass and a flashlight or other light source.
Okay.
Which makes sense. You gotta light it somehow.
But you can't just use fire?
Well, if you have an open flame, but in this case we don't.
Okay.
Yeah, so our goal was to just get that off screen.
Launch all 3 fireworks.
We have some fireworks. There's not much to them. They're usually just made as a, like an end goal sort of thing, to try to launch them or whatever. But they are an introduction to this little button off to the side here, this computer. What they do is, for a lot of times visual effects, sometimes others, you can change, like, properties. In this case, it's just the visual property of the firework as it explodes.
But in other stuff it might actually matter.
Yeah, there are some where it does matter.
Launch and explode all 3 missiles. Notice.
So these are missiles. Missiles, the fireworks explode but don't do damage, they're visual. The rockets fire and they just keep going until they hit
Glide.
something, and then that's it. They just sit there. The missiles explode.
Okay.
Other things, you'll see here, the missile can actually light the other 2.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I lighted that candle so hard it recoiled. I think it was on a slope, so it slid down.
Fire all the cannons.
What's our viewer list? How many people we got on here right now? Is the viewer list going to load in my pop-up? Probably not.
No, don't be silly.
So cannons are kind of fun. They have multiple orientations, and they shoot a pinball, basically. Or that's what the type of ball they end up firing is. So here, using the seesaws that we've learned about earlier, and the spring-loaded match, we know to attach a rope in this fashion so that this match will light over here.
I believe you.
Fire all the cannons.
Put the bowling ball into the steel cage.
So, we have a fan and a pinwheel. Pinwheels provide motorized power, but only if they're being spun.
Okay.
So usually you need a fan, or I think there's another wind source, but the fan is usually the most reliable. For whatever reason, we have a mouse. We're going to use this mouse.
Okay.
We're going to use him as a drop. It just decided to give us a mouse instead of a ball or something like that, so... Sure.
Start the mixer.
Yeah. So this is a bike pump. It's like a fan, but it only activates for a very short amount of time because it's one-time use.
Okay. Just like most bike pumps.
So it's enough to get this job done, basically, because it just says start the mixer. It doesn't have to mix for a certain amount of seconds.
Sure.
It just has to be activated. Yeah, Newton Mouse Curie Cat. Yeah, it's definitely edutainment.
Pop the happy-faced balloon, but none of the others.
So there's a bunch of different balloons here. They differ not really in function or anything, just only in like their just their size. They do fit into locations differently. So the goal is to pop the happy-faced one, but none of the other ones.
Okay. What did Happy Face Balloon do?
He had the misfortune of coming into this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop the bomb from hitting our other balloon here. And then using the pulleys, we're going to tie our balloons together so that none of those go anywhere. And then we have a thumbtack.
Because why on earth would we not have a thumbtack?
It's handy for popping blimps and balloons. There we go.
Pop all of the blimps.
Fuck that happy balloon.
Yeah.
Ah, here we go. Blimps. Pop the blimps.
The blimps move, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me see.
I played a video game.
So what we need to do here, blimps move very slowly, but they travel in a straight line until they hit something, and then they kind of bounce around a little bit. But you can use them to activate things like these like these flint and steels. Also, they'd explode when they hit fire.
Okay.
Hindenburg.
Oh no. Oh,
But
no.
the other thing to note is if they explode and are on fire, they will light stuff, because they count as a fire source as they fall.
Are we war criminals?
Not yet. They're unmanned. They're drones.
Okay.
Launch all of the hot air balloons.
I don't feel good about this.
You sound really distraught.
I feel like we're only 10 levels away from like an Ender's Game type situation, and it's just we're just wrecking everything.
Don't worry. In this one, we're launching hot air balloons. It's okay.
In this timeline.
Yeah.
In this timeline, everything's fine.
So hot air balloons only move when they are lit, but you can also tie them down, giving the player basically multiple objectives. You have to unsnip them in some way.
Okay.
And then they go off the top screen.
I'm ready for this game to go super dark.
How about, are you ready for it to go anti-gravity?
No.
Well, too bad. So the way
I was not
anti-gravity works is it literally flips gravity, means balloons go down.
Oops, there goes gravity.
And that was pretty simple.
Put both bowling balls into a...
So the Jack in the Box is a mechanically powered item that, after time, springs up and bounces whatever is on top of it in a direction. You'll see the one on the left here as the example. The other thing is the springboard. Springboards are hilariously fun just because they're springboards.
I'm gonna say, it seems like it's giving that ball infinite momentum.
So here we have a problem in that I didn't turn the springboard or the Jack in the Box in the right direction, because you can rotate the angle that it bounces the thing.
Huh. Sorry, Firebrand.
Congrats, May. If you shocked him into accepting there is someone more white than he is when it comes to rap.
Keep the pinball from going off of the screen for at least
It's
5
the pinball
behind you.
wizard.
Try different configurations for pinball fun.
I don't want to brag, but I knew the difference between Ice Cube and Ice Tea today.
Yeah, but do you know the difference between ice cube and vanilla ice?
Yes. Because one of those gentlemen is not black.
So there are pinball elements in this. We have a flipper, and it causes things to go flying. And then we also have bumpers. The goal is to keep the pinball inside this rectangle for 5 seconds. You can set up goals that specific. So we're just going to toss some things in a standard pinball configuration and see if it works.
Can't you just like clog the bottom? I know that's like super uncool, but
I could,
not.
yeah. Their solution is just to have a different pinball configuration. But yeah, you could just block all of the exits if you're boring.
I mean, I am.